This is the Bettors Edge. I'm your host, Rusty Betts, your co-host, Randee the Parlay Killer, and we'll be breaking down UFC Fight Night 186 at the Apex in Vegas tomorrow, Saturday, February 27th, 2021. In this show, we'll be breaking down our picks, our solid plays, some stats, and our leans. So let's start off with one of our solid plays or solid fights. It's Jimmie Rivera versus Pedro Munhoz. This is going to be a fight taking place at 135. So what we got, Randee?
Well, Pedro Munhoz is coming off as a lot of people thought Pedro Munhoz won. It could have went either way, actually. But he did look good in that fight. Jimmie Rivera is also coming off of that win over Cody Stamann. He 2-fight losing streak. This is a rematch from, I want to say, 5 years ago. They fought in Brazil.
That is correct. 2015, the Belfort and Hendel 3 card. Yeah.
Right. I believe that was Jimmie Rivera's second fight in the UFC. Pedro Munhoz was coming off a 1-year layoff. It was a split decision win for Jimmie Rivera, but it was a very close fight. Could have went either way. This fight, I'm actually leaning Pedro Munhoz. I usually like to favor the younger guy in the rematch, but this case, I know Pedro Munhoz is coming off a loss, but I think his striking has gotten way better. It's probably going to be a stand-up fight just like the last time. Yeah, I'm leaning Pedro Munhoz in this fight.
Interesting. I see a lot of people, a lot of experts out there picking Jimmie Rivera in this fight, but only because Pedro Munhoz is on a 2-fight losing streak. But granted, his losing streak is to Aljamain Sterling, and you already know he's fighting for the belt against Jan next. And Frankie Edgar isn't no slouch, as you already know. So 2 tough losses and a rematch against Jimmie Rivera. I'm actually going to agree with you here, and I am leaning Munhoz. Munhoz right now is an underdog. Let me see where his line is at right now. Munhoz is closing at a plus 110 in some places. In most places, plus 120. Jimmie Rivera, a favorite, understandable at minus 155. So we both like the underdog here. Do you see the line? Do you see the line closing come fight time, or actually more bettors going Jimmie Rivera?
I think it's gonna go the other way. I think money is gonna be coming on Jimmie Rivera if I were to predict this right.
Right. And I think so too. Just watch the weigh-ins. They both look in shape. They both look good. The line did not move much after the weigh-ins. Both came in weight. So I'm liking this pick. Let's go ahead and compare the stats in terms of striking, grappling, and cardio. Who has the striking advantage here?
Striking advantage, I would slightly favor Jimmie Rivera. But then technically, Jimmie Rivera is the better striker. But I believe the power edge goes to Pedro Munhoz. He knocked out Cody Garbrandt. Granted, Garbrandt was he was brawling at that one point when he got knocked out. But he's been looking good. Pedro Munhoz got those low calf kicks, power in his right hand.
100% agree with you.
Yeah. Even in the last fight, even in a rematch, it was pretty much even. I say it's a slight advantage towards Jimmie Rivera. Yeah, I give Jimmie Rivera the slight edge.
Right. On paper, Jimmie Rivera definitely looks to be the better striker. But man, if you can knock out Cody, the way he did, and yes, it was a brawl. I mean, that's definitely something to know. But I do agree with you. A very, very slight edge to the striking to Jimmie Rivera. How about the grappling?
Grappling, it's an obvious pick. It's Pedro Munhoz. He's got that sick guillotine. He's also a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Trains at a better team, in my opinion, at the ATT. So he's getting the rounds in with the better guys. So
For sure. And man, I think if it goes to the ground, Jimmie Rivera definitely has to look out for that guillotine, which Pedro Munhoz likes to use, used to use in his early fights. So he hasn't had a submission win since 2017, but man, a lot of times it didn't go to the ground. So I still give the slight edge to, not even slight edge, I give the big edge to Pedro Munhoz in the
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
All right. How about the cardio?
Cardio, well, Pedro Munhoz is just coming off of a 5-round fight with Frankie Edgar. He didn't look to slow down at any point of that fight. Jimmie Rivera, I don't even remember the last time he even got into a 5-round fight. At this stage, if I had to lean one way, I'd give the cardio to Pedro Munhoz if I had to. Just because he's coming off a 5-round fight.
For sure. I have to definitely agree with you here. I'm looking at Jimmie Rivera's stats. He's never had a 5-round fight in the UFC. His last 5-round fight was actually 10 years ago in the KOTC. All his fights been 3 rounds. So, yeah.
King of the cage.
King of the cage, definitely. Yeah, so I have to lean with you on this. So we both agree on that. After breaking down the striking, grappling, and cardio, we're giving the striking to Jimmie, the grappling and cardio to Pedro. It looks like Pedro has, out of the 3 core skill sets that we're putting out there, Pedro has the advantage as an underdog. So I see a lot of value here. Scale of 1 to 5.
For sure.
How sure is your pick for Pedro Munhoz as the underdog?
I want to say 3 out of 5 stars. I'm picking Pedro Munhoz.
That's a solid.
But no matter what way you pick, no matter who you pick in this fight, you're gonna squeeze ass no matter what. It's gonna be a close fight.
I think so too. Would you recommend folks putting this in a parlay, or is it a straight wager play?
It's definitely a good question. If you're down at this point of the card, you should put Pedro Munhoz on a straight wager, in my opinion.
That's a good way to put it. Cool. All right. On to the next fight. This one I'm very excited about. I personally, I'm going to jump and say this is one of my max plays for the night as a straight wager, as a parlay. I'm playing it, but let's talk about it. This is your co-main event. It is Nikita Krylov versus Magomed Angalaev. Krylov has finished 26 out of his 27 wins, and 21 of those coming in the first round. So that is crazy. Angalaev coming off a knockout over what is his name? Krylov.
Yeah.
Impressive.
The rematch.
The rematch. If you guys remember, Krylov contested an early stoppage in their first fight. Come the second fight, Angalaev came out and just knocked him out in the first round within the first minute. That was just a few months ago in Abu Dhabi, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
All right. So give me the breakdown on this one.
I'm gonna pick Angalaev in this fight. 100%. I don't even think it's a close fight. I think it's a 1-round domination from Oh, it's gonna be a pretty decisive victory for Angalaev. I'm really high on Angalaev. I think he's gonna be the champ by the end of next year. Actually,
That's a bold claim.
yes, it is. He's young. He's still young. He's he looks really good. He's been looking good in all of his fights except that first fight that he was in. He was winning that against Paul Craig. He was winning the entire fight until that last second of the fight.
Right, right.
You know.
No, the lines makers have it on par here. It's a high favorite. He opened up at a minus 330. He's closing at minus 400 right now. The bettors are turning into him, and also he's looking good in every fight. I think stylistically, Krylov, I mean, he can stand and brawl with him, but I think Angalaev is coming to his own now. Like you said, could be the next champ. So
yeah, Krylov's actually for those backing Krylov, he's actually had good wins. Actually, he just beat Johnny Walker. He beat OSP.
Big wins, big wins.
His losses come to Glover Teixeira. He had a split decision loss to Glover Teixeira. Jan Blachowicz, he lost to 2-3 years ago. He's a champ right now.
Is that when he lost to Jan? Is that Jan's fight right before his championship bout?
No. This is when this is the fight right before Thiago Santos.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, his losses come to good guys, Jan, and you already know Glover. Glover's still in there. If you guys remember his last fight.
I'm very high on Angalaev. I don't even think I'm going to stress out in this fight. You know, I think it's going to be pretty one-sided. Whether it lasts 1 round or 3 rounds, it's gonna be one-sided either way.
I agree. I feel if you were the odds makers, do you think they got it right here, or do you actually see him as a higher fade, maybe even a minus 500?
No, I think they got it right. What is his odds at right now?
Minus.
What is his odds at? Minus 400? No, that's about right. He's the biggest favorite on the card, right?
Let me double check that. Yeah, it's between him and Angela Hill, but definitely he's up there. He's probably going to close in as the highest fade.
Really, it's a showcase fight for Angalaev, if anything. You know?
Oh yeah, no. As a co-main event, I think the UFC thinks the same way.
Right.
All right, so let's break down the striking, grappling, and cardio. Who you give the striking to?
Striking, Angalaev, 100%.
100%. We don't even have.
Yeah, really, I think he's the best Russian striker, regardless of weight class, right now in the UFC.
Who do you think has the power advantage?
I'm gonna go Angalaev again.
Right.
Yeah, he's been looking really good, man. He's been looking really good.
Getting stronger, getting better. I don't think we need to dispute this. Grappling.
Angalaev. You know, those Russians, you know?
Yep.
You got the wrestling. They've already got the wrestling down.
He can do it all.
You know?
I think he can take Krylov down, give him some ground and pound. So definitely with the grappling there. How about cardio?
Cardio.
This is a tough one for me. But I'm interested to see what you say.
I can't say one has the advantage over the other. I don't remember the last time Krylov gassed out. I don't remember the last time Angalaev gassed out. So I'm gonna say tie.
I give it a tie too. I mean, at the end of the day, Krylov has the longer fights going into decision. Angalaev has more of the shorter fights, but I mean, there's not enough for us to gauge and give a decisive pick towards who has the better cardio. So I definitely agree with you, and it's right down the middle.
Yeah.
So since we both like Angalaev, 1 to 5 stars, how strong is this play?
Oh, this is a 5-star right off the bat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I guarantee this is something that you have to put in your parlay.
Parlay or straight bet or however you want to do it. He's in there.
Any value in a knockout?
I would take, yeah. I would say first round knockout. I know a lot of people are actually picking the under in this fight.
For sure.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely. Angalaev by knockout. Not submission, but yeah, knockout.
Let me just check.
I don't remember the last time he won by a submission, but
well, I definitely see some value in Krylov knockout. If you have to be Mystic Mac today, what round?
Round 1?
Wow.
Round 1 or round 2? Definitely round 1 or round 2.
Wow.
I don't think it's gonna last long.
I can't argue with you. I can't argue with you. All right. So we got the co-main event as a 5-star play. Magomed, Angalaev, strong play by us. Put in your parlays. If you got the funds, make a straight wager. But that is a strong play for us. All right, I'm excited about this next fight. This is the last of our strong plays, and it's the main event. Oh, we have one for you. I'm seeing the line moving in our direction. I know me and you talked about this fight prior to this show, so this one is for the fans, and I'm putting my money where my mouth is. Let's talk about the main event. It's Ciryl Gane versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Let's see the odds right now. The odds are at Ciryl Gane as a favorite. The odds makers like him. He's sitting at -250, opened at a -350. So he dropped a good amount. Rozenstruik opened up at a +200, now +180. We both weighed in on weight to the weigh-ins today, and they both look good. So give us your take.
I'm gonna pick the underdog in this fight. I'm fairly confident that this is gonna happen. I like Rozenstruik in this fight. He's been training out of ATT. He's had more experience, whether it's in the UFC or MMA. He's a better kickboxer, straight up. Knockout power, everything. Speed, knockout power. I'm favoring Rozenstruik either way. He does have a disadvantage. I think Gane is the better guy on the ground, but I think Rozenstruik's bit. He knows he's probably better than most heavyweights as far as it when it comes to stand up. On the ground, he has shown not the best ground. I know when he fought Overeem, he didn't look pretty good on the ground. He made Overeem look like a wrestler.
And I'm okay with that. As a heavyweight,
Yeah.
you're not gonna find a lot of ground specialists. Yeah. Rozenstruik coming in with an 11-1 record. His only loss, if you guys remember, coming from Francis Ngannou.
Yeah.
If you remember, Francis Ngannou, he just went forward, went for some haymakers, and caught him. I feel like if that fight went a little bit longer, we would have seen a very competitive fight. I still would have taken Francis, but that's Francis. He's gonna be the next champ.
I actually picked Rozenstruik for that fight. Usually I like to favor the guys that are better technically in the stand-up, but then he's fighting Ngannou, and Ngannou knocks out everybody.
For sure. But if you remember, Francis was a -250 favorite, and Rozenstruik came in as a similar underdog, which he's coming in for this fight against Gane. So I'm with you. I like Rozenstruik. This is a a 5-star play as an underdog for me.
Right.
Yeah. Why do you think the odds makers got Gane as the favorite here?
Well, there's a lot of hype behind Gane. He's a big, muscular dude. He looks good. He looks like a future contender. They're both coming off of wins to Junior Dos Santos. With Gane, he looks like the real deal, but this is actually going to be the first guy that's actually. I don't know. I haven't been too impressed with Gane like everybody else is making him out to be.
I think it's his physique. People are looking
at
his
his
physique.
It is.
And yeah.
He took 3 rounds to beat Dontel Mays. You know what I mean? No offense, Dontel Mays is not the best. He's not one of the better heavyweights out there.
Right.
Rozenstruik is actually Rozenstruik will test his chin.
This is his most this is the best competition he's going to be fighting, definitely. I mean, JDS is still up there, but that's JDS. He's up there in age. Tanner Boser, he couldn't finish Tanner Boser. Tanner Boser is okay, but the experience goes to Rozenstruik. And I think that you're right. There's a lot of hype, and I think the odds makers are on that train.
Yeah, mark my words, bro. Rozenstruik will win this fight.
Wow, I'm with you. So, is this a parlay fight? Is this a straight wager? What is it?
You can really, if you're gonna do a parlay for this week, it should be Angalaev. Angalaev, end it with Rozenstruik. Right after that, right after Rozenstruik wins by KO, he's gonna win. He's not gonna win by decision. He's not gonna win by submission. He's gonna win by a TKO or KO. That's his only route to win, in my opinion.
I agree. I think if you guys are gonna make a parlay, this is gonna be a 5-star parlay. Yeah. Add Rozenstruik as an underdog. Add Angalaev and leave some slots open for whatever you guys want to play. But definitely add those two. That's a beautiful.
And if you are a trend guy, every co-main or main this year has either been favorite, or underdog. Mm-hmm. It's gonna break this week. Watch.
And for people that don't know, what was last week's?
Last week was an underdog. Yana Kunitskaya won. She was the underdog, and then I didn't see Derek Lewis winning, but he continued that trend.
Right. I did not see that coming. So that's our solid play. Again, 2-team parlay, Angalaev, and the main event Rozenstruik as a 2-teamer. Leave some slots open, and you can make yourself a nice 3-4 team parlay with over plus 400 units if you add a few other fights. So those are solid plays. Let's break down some of our names. We're definitely playing a lot of fights here, but we want to give you guys our more solid plays. But let's talk about this card here and these other fights. So I'm just gonna go ahead and name some of these fights, and let's see what we pick. Dustin Jacoby versus Maxim Grishin to start off the card.
My bad. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
We still recording?
Yeah. So we got Dustin Jacoby versus Maxim Grishin.
I am gonna slide with Jacoby in this one. I'm leaning Jacoby. I know I bet against in the last fight. Who was it again?
That
was Justin
Ledet. Justin Ledet. He was a favorite against Justin Ledet.
I don't even know why I picked Justin Ledet.
You know how these preliminary fights are. You know how.
Yeah. No, I think it's because when I seen Jacoby on Contender Series, he didn't look that good to me. You know what I mean? He took a decision win. I believe it was a decision win in the Contender Series. Yeah. He just started to slow down. And if you're a Maxim Grishin backer in this fight, yeah, he only lost to his first fight in the UFC was Tybura. But Tybura's a legit top 10 heavyweight,
Yeah. Respectable.
Yeah, I believe Christian took that fight on short notice too. His next fight, he beat Antigulov, and then that fight was at 205. He's still
Yep.
fighting at 205. I slightly am going towards Jacoby. He has a better stand up. They're both stand up fighters, but
Yep.
I'm slightly gonna go with Jacoby in this fight.
I like Jacoby in this one. I'm taking the favorite. I like the line movement, opening at a minus 155, closing it at minus 200. He looked good in the weigh-ins today. If you guys know me, I like to incorporate the stats, but I'm heavy on odds maker lines and line movement, and I like where this one is going. Uh, on to the next fight. We got Ronnie Lawrence versus Vince Cachero. For people who don't know, where's Ronnie Lawrence fighting from, if you know, and who is Vince Cachero if people don't know?
Okay, so Ronnie Lawrence, I believe this is gonna be his first fight in the UFC, but he's coming off the Contender Series win. After that win, Dana White said this kid's gonna be special. Ronnie Lawrence. I don't know. I remember betting against Ronnie Lawrence in that fight. He just kept taking. I don't know. I watched highlight videos. I watched a few fights. I was never really impressed with the guy. That's why I bet against him his last fight. It proved me wrong, but I'm gonna go against him again in this fight. I know he's training out of Sanford MMA. I think he trained at ATT too for this fight. I think he trained at both spots.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the Hawaii boy, Vince Cachero. I know he's been training at Factory X with Mark Montoya.
Okay.
The fight before this is Dustin Jacoby. He's also a Factory X guy. I think they're gonna take a sweep. Both guys win.
I like it.
Yeah, no,
I like it.
yeah. Cachero actually looked good in his last fight too against Jamal Emmers. He actually moved up a weight class. He fought Jamal Emmers. He took that fight on short notice. He looked pretty good despite losing. I remember looking at film back in the day. Not back in the day, but I know he fought in the LFA. He fought in the main event against Casey Kenny. I think the odds were close to even for that fight. I know he lost that fight, but I think Vince Cachero has a lot of upside towards him.
I'm gonna have to agree with you again. I mean, we're agreeing with a lot on this card. I think this is a better's card. This is a winning card. A lot of times when we agree, so most times that is the formula. So we got Cachero in this one as an underdog, opening at a plus 150, dropping down to plus 130. I like it. One of the fights that was on this card that it was going to be a 5-star strong play. It was Alex Oliveira versus Ramazan. Ramazan was filling in for who was it? Who was fighting Alex Oliveira initially?
Who was that?
Let me just see.
Yeah, they just took that fight off today, right?
They just took that fight off today. But whoever was fighting Cowboy, I was gonna go against Cowboy. His age is getting to him. I feel like all these young guys are gonna meet his match, but that fight fell off. Ramazan fell ill, and it's gonna be postponed. So we'll see Cowboy on another card, and we'll just make a mental note about when he fights next. On to the next fight: Alexis Davis versus Sabina Mazo. Sabina Mazo sitting at a minus 210 favorite against Alexis Davis at a plus 175. Who you got?
I know Alexis Davis is the underdog here.
Yeah.
I was actually going back and forth with this one, but if I had to, well, no, I'm gonna place a wager on Alexis Davis. Actually, I know she's coming off 3 losses. She's an older fighter. She's 36 years old. She's coming off 3 straight losses. But granted, those 3 losses are coming off Viviana Araujo. She's what, number 7 right now in the rankings.
Yep. And Jennifer Maia.
Jennifer Maia. Jennifer Myers just coming off of a championship fight. She was against Shevchenko. She looked good in that fight too.
Did she beat Caitlin Chukagian?
She lost to Caitlin. She lost to Caitlin Chikagin.
But that's Caitlin, and we saw what Caitlin did against.
They're all title contenders, really.
Yeah, they definitely are. Yeah. So I think you're go ahead.
Go ahead. She's actually taking a step down in she's actually taking a step down in competition for this fight. Sabino Mazo is actually taking a step up in this fight. I think odds makers are actually thinking one girl's on a losing streak, one girl's older. That's one girl's actually been looking good. Sabino Mazo's been looking good. She trains with Kevin Gastelum guys at King's MMA. She's the bigger fighter too as well. But still, I think there's too much experience on Alexis Davis's side. I know she's going back up to 135, so she doesn't have to think about cutting weight for this one as much as the last 3 fights. Right. So I really think I like Alexis Davis in this position.
There is definitely value in Alexis Davis. For me, it's going to be a pass. Although I do like Alexis Davis, I feel like if you're going to play this fight, it's Davis or don't play. I'm just trying to figure out why the hell do the odds makers favor Sabina Mazo as a 2-1. I mean, she hasn't beaten anyone that I feel is legit. JJ Aldrich, to be honest, I don't have much respect for her.
Justin Keisha is actually losing that fight,
Yeah, she was an underdog. Mazo was an underdog to JJ Aldrich. So for me, if I saw this fight, I would definitely have Alexis Davis as an even or slight favorite. I'm just don't know why the odds makers have her as a 2-1. For that reason, I'm going to pass. But you say that there's value in Davis. So if you had to rank this 1 to 5 stars, what would it be on Davis?
This is a 2 or 3.
Okay.
2 to 3. But I'm fairly confident. Yeah, I'm fairly confident. Davis takes this one.
All right, on to the next. This fight almost made the list as a strong play, but I couldn't take a good read on it. But anyway, it's Alex Hernandez versus Thiago Moises. A lot of people are excited about this one. Alex Hernandez coming to his own. If you guys remember when he first got into the UFC, there was a lot of hype with him. I think that hype is coming back, and as you know, Thiago Moises is always dangerous. So, what's your take on here? We got Alex Hernandez sitting at a -240 favorite with Thiago Moises at a +175.
First thing is, I don't know why this is not on the main card. I don't know why it's on the prelims.
Yeah.
Both prospects, legit prospects. I believe Thiago Moises is going to be in the next 5 years. He's going to be a top 10 lightweight, in my opinion. I can see why they're giving Alexander Hernandez. I can see why odds makers are listing him as a favorite. He looked good in his real last fight. I think this is going to be a second fight training out of was it Factor X? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he's going to be the number 3. He's going to be the 3rd guy fighting out of Factor X in this card. Cachero and Jacoby. Unfortunately, in my opinion, I think he's going to be the guy that doesn't win from Factor X. Yeah. I'm very high on Thiago Moises. This is another underdog pick, in my opinion.
Wow.
It's another underdog pick, in my opinion. Thiago Moises trains with the better guys. I can't get that thing out of my head where he's also coming off 2 good wins. He beat Bobby Green. Could have went either way, in my opinion.
And Michael Johnson.
Michael Johnson, yeah. He's getting better. He's still young. He's only 25 years old. He's only improving. Yeah. He's pretty much training at the Harvard of MMA right now, So I think there's a lot of value in Thiago Moises. I like Thiago Moises in this fight. Alexander Hernandez, I was very high on him earlier, and I just remember him losing to Cowboy. Good fight, but I don't know. There's just something I don't like about it.
He's like that guy. Who did your favorite fight that he upset?
Oh, Ricky Simone.
It's like a Ricky Simone to me. Ricky Simone looks very good as of late, but to me, Alex Hernandez is just like Ricky Simone. All that hype, all that skill and youth, but just fell short early in his career. Uh, but I am going to go against you in this one. First one we're not agreeing on. I think it's going to be a Factor X sweep. I think Alex Hernandez is definitely coming to his own. I feel like he is going to be dangerous. I feel like this fight is deserving of a breakdown. Who has the better striking, grappling, and cardio?
Okay, stand up. I think you'd have to favor Alexander Hernandez slightly. He definitely has the power. He definitely has the speed advantage. Yeah. You got to give it to Alexander Hernandez. Wrestling, you probably favor Alexander Hernandez too. The ground game, it's an obvious choice. It's Thiago Moises.
For sure, he's going to be dangerous there. I think. I think if Thiago gets on top, it's going to be a tough night for Alex. But Alex has good takedown defense, good takedown offense. I think the odds makers got it right here, and it's going to be. I feel like it's going to be a lopsided one. Either Thiago is going to win by unanimous decision, or you might see Alex Hernandez in some sort
win
of
by knockout or something.
Win by knockout, something crazy like that. Okay. All right. On to the next fight. We got Bruce Leroy, Alex Caceres versus Kevin Croom. Alex Caceres opening at a minus 200, another minus 200, a lot of minus 200s on this card versus Kevin Croom. For me, Alex Caceres, I feel like he's on the tail end of his career. I feel like the line is a bit too high for me. And check this out. He opened at a minus 300, closing at a minus 200, or sitting at a minus 200 right now. I just can't justify that minus 300. What's your take?
I think he is coming off well, he's on a 3-fight winning streak.
He is
Bruce Leroy. Yeah. Austin Springer took that fight on short notice.
Yep.
Is that really a win? Chase Hooper, I was on Bruce Leroy the whole fight. You know, Chase Hooper, he's pretty much he's one-dimensional, really.
Yep.
If he gets you on the ground, then he's good, but he has a hard time taking people to the ground. His stand-up's awful, you know. Steven Peterson, I don't remember that fight too much, but yeah, those 3 wins, I'm not giving him a lot of credit for. You know what I mean? Those were fights he was supposed to win, if anything.
For sure.
Kevin Croom, I think, is taking a step down in competition here. He actually is coming off of that upset win over Roosevelt Roberts.
Roosevelt Roberts, and if you guys remember, Roosevelt Roberts closed at a minus 700. Kevin Croom beat Roosevelt, closing at a plus 400. It was a crazy upset, if you guys remember this. This was sometime last year.
But I don't know, when I'm looking at this, it ended up in a no contest. I think because Kevin Croom was what was it, weed or something like that? That for me, that's still a win.
That's a win. And I don't know why the odds makers have Bruce Lee at a minus 300 against Croom even after that fight. I think they just don't have enough on him. And looking at his record, there isn't a lot of notable wins, but hey, that was his first fight in the UFC. So this is going to be definitely a defining fight for Croom. I'm going with Croom as a value play, as the underdog. I like to make prelim parlays. This is definitely something I'll add in my prelim parlay.
Oh yeah. Another note for Kevin Kroom. He actually beat, who's that guy that fought last week? Derek Minner. He actually beat Derek Minner in the LFA. So he actually has some quality wins.
And Derek Minner is no scrub if you guys watched that fight last week.
Kevin Kroom's actually training out of what's his James Krause's team, Glory MMA.
Glory MMA.
That squad is actually coming up. You know, they've been having good wins. Derek Minner last week. The week before that, I think was Julian Marquez. You know.
Yeah, they're up and coming right now.
That's a good squad out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say Kevin Kroom. I think he's the popular underdog pick this week.
Yeah, I
agree.
I like him, and he's definitely. I would say get him early, guys. He could close in at a plus 140, 130 come fight time. All right, on to this next fight. Very, very confident in this one. I'm just sad that I didn't get it earlier. This is a fight that you guys need to add to your parlay. So, like we said, we got Rozenstruik as an underdog. We got Angalaev as the favorite. And I think the parlay killer is going to agree with me on this one. Angela Hill versus Ashley Yoder. Angela Hill opening up at a minus 300, climbing all the way up to a minus 400 against Yoder. Yoder plus 235, sitting at plus 300. What's the breakdown on this?
I'm Angela Hill all the way actually in this fight.
Yeah, her striking is beautiful. It's coming to her. I mean, she did lose. She lost her fight against Watterson. Close fight.
I still think Angela Hill won that fight.
Yeah.
I know she's coming off a 2-fight losing streak. Before that was Claudia Gadelha. I thought she won that fight as well. You know.
Yeah.
So I think odds makers got it right with the minus 400. I watched their first fight yesterday or 2 days ago. What was it? 3 years ago when they fought?
Yeah.
I still like Angela Hill. She's improved. They've both improved, but I like Angela Hill a lot this fight. I know she's been calling out. I know she's been calling out Tisha Torres. I know they've been going back and forth on Twitter and whatnot, but Angela Hill is gonna be. Yeah, she's gonna make her way up the rankings.
She is definitely a title contender, and I wouldn't be surprised if she fights for the title by the end of this year. So this is a solid play. This is a 5-star play. This is something you add to your parlay. And yeah. So those are the fights I wanted to talk about. Let's put together a parlay for these guys. Let's give them
one more fight missing.
Let's talk before that. Let's talk about one more fight, right? It's the chick fight. Montana De La Rosa versus Bueno Silva. Myra. So we got Myra sitting at a minus 145. We got De La Rosa, slight underdog, plus 115. I actually overlooked this fight. What you got?
This is a tough fight to call. I've been going back and forth. If I were to lean one way, I think I'm not gonna bet on this fight. For me, this is a no touch. I'm not playing this fight at all. The striking advantage goes to Myra Bueno Silva. But then everything else, the grappling, the wrestling, you go with Montana De La Rosa. You know, Bueno Silva's been looking good actually. You know, like in her fights, she's very fierce, very aggressive. But I don't know if I can trust that takedown defense. You know, so in my opinion, I'm just gonna stay away from this fight.
No, she definitely looked good against Mara Borella. If you guys remember that, but she looks good. For me, it's definitely a no touch. I tried to cap it. I feel like any of these, one of these girls can show up any day. Can go either way. I feel like it could be a closer fight than what the line suggests. So it's a no touch for me. So those are the fights for a card. Let's give these fans or these followers a parlay, a winning parlay. So we got Rozenstruik at a plus 200. We got Angalaev minus 370. we said let's add Angela Hill at a -400. That right there, that 3-teamer right there gives you a plus 384 return. So you bet $100, you get back $384. I feel like we have room for 1 or 2 more fights to add for a solid parlay.
Yeah.
So who would you add here? Do you like Jacoby? Is that too close to call? What is a solid?
I think Jacoby's a pretty solid pick actually, in my opinion. Yeah, I would go Jacoby.
Wow.
I would go Jacoby.
Okay, we got Hill, Jacoby, Angalaev, Rozenstruik giving us a 14 parlay with a return of plus 639. You bet $100, you get back 639. Should we stop it there as a solid parlay for our followers, or should we add one more?
If you really want to add one more, this is the underdog that I really like the most on this card is well, besides Rozenstruik, it's Alexis Davis. Yeah.
Would you take Alexis Davis over Cachero?
Yeah, I like Alexis Davis more than Cachero.
There's one more fight that let me take a step back. There's one more fight we missed. I just wanted to bring it up here, and it's a close one. Alonzo Menefield versus William Knight.
Oh no, that fight's off. That fight's off.
Oh, that one is off.
Yeah, that fight's off.
Due to
I
what?
think it's COVID related. I think Menefield tested positive for
maybe
COVID.
that's a good thing, guys. That was a close one. Yeah. So that was a.
I would have actually went William Knight actually if that fight was to continue.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's either adding Cachero or Davis to this strong parlay. Me and Parlay Killer, we like to make sure we add at least 2 fights to a full card parlay, just in case, one of them fell short. We can always recover and rebound and create another one. But let's add Alexis Davis here. And this will give us a whopping close to plus 2,000 return with a 5-fight parlay.
Oh, that's a beautiful number, bro.
That is a beautiful one. We feel very strong about this one. Angela Hill, Dustin Jacoby, Alexis Davis, Angalaev, Rozenstruik, giving you a plus 2,000 return if you bet 100.
Well, if you bet $50, that's 1,000 right there, right?
That's $50. We'll give you 1,000. I feel like this is a very strong one. I haven't been so sure about a parlay in a long time. This one looks good. I feel like if you guys want to, maybe you can remove the Alexis Davis to give you a more sure parlay, but there's a lot of value, and I feel like I feel very strongly about this parlay. So, and I'll put our parlay underneath so you guys can follow if you guys want. But again, this is a plus 2,000 strong parlay coming from me and the Parlay Killer Randee. And just to recap, we got Rozenstruik as a strong play. We got Angalaev as a strong play, and we also got Angela Hill as a strong play. So if you guys don't feel too comfortable, those 3 is very sure. Is a sure thing almost. Anything else you want to add?
Good luck.
Good luck. Good luck to you. Good luck to us.
Right.
Yeah, this is our first podcast or YouTube show, if you guys want to call it. Let us know what you think. Leave some comments below and tell us what you guys want to see or what we're doing good or something we could do better. You can follow Randee, the Parlay Killer, at Parlay Killer 808 on Twitter, and we'll be tweeting during the fights. And you can follow me at Bettors Edge Show on Twitter as well. We're starting off our social media accounts, but give us a follow, give us a like, and we'll catch you guys on the next UFC.